Our indoor taproom space is somewhat limited. We would love to, in our three-year plan, probably do an official taproom expansion. So at the moment, we're using what we have available to us, which is a very large metal. We call it the metal shed. It's a metal agricultural building, and we've gussied it up a little bit. We've put some hand hewn beams in with string lights, and actually still a lot of bee equipment in there. So it's boxes of honey supers stacked up to the ceiling on one wall. We've got like a barrel stove and propane heaters, and this year we actually added to it and built an entire bar inside of it, and then sort of like a deck on the outside. We cut a hole in it, and so that there's like a serving area. So when we get busy for concert days and farmers market days, we actually open up the auxiliary bar. We call it lane 2, and we'll have four or so beers on draft out there, or is it 6? I can't remember now. And then we have 12 to 13, depending on if we're doing a cask beer inside the main tap room. So there's a lot of different tap options, and we kind of are able to get the line down a little bit by opening up the second bar when we're busy. There is 2 stages, so we actually built a really nice stage in the back in what was called our beer meadow. But we realized, and we had like a tent out there and stuff, but what we realized is when we're not absolutely slammed, there's too much separation between that back area and the front area. So we built another stage in the front area, and that has been really, really wonderful. And we also, at the same time, built an entire array of 20 by 20 sunshade sails. And people love to just hang out under the sunshade sails. They also have string lights around those. It's like this whole vibe, basically, just listening to music in the grass at a picnic table, underneath the sunshade sails. You got like kids running around. It's pretty cool. Some people just sit in the grass and like bring their own blankets, just listening to music and having some beers, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, eventually we would, and then we get really, really busy, like say the beer festival that we're going to be putting on. We're going to have both stages running simultaneously. They are far enough apart that we can have musicians playing on each stage, and not really combating each other. And then we'll have our beer vendors, strewn throughout the entire area. So we will be able to still use the other stage. We just don't use it very frequently anymore. Yeah, so once the expansion happens one day, hopefully, we'll have probably taken over the footprint of the corn crib, which is used to store lumber in, and then the metal shed. And we also have a permanent food truck called the Dumpling Wagon. And we would probably at some point move the food situation indoors as well, because I know the Dumpling Wagon has a real hard time in the winter. They kind of freeze themselves out there, and it would just be a better situation to have more interior, livable space, and not relying on like barrel stoves and propane heaters, and so it'll be nice having that and being able to introduce more games. We actually just put dart boards up in the metal shed, and we had dart night on Thursday, and that's a lot of fun. But it'd be more fun if it was in a in a nice warm space.